All right. So the question is marijuana the healing of the nations? All right. Now, you see, when there is desire, what happens is the intellects get clouded and it can no longer um, do its duty to discern. That's what desires do. It veils our understanding. Now we can't see the truth for what it is. We see it for how we want it to be, or for how pleasing it is to our desire, right? So we're going to look through Revelations 22 and verse 2. It says, okay, let me start from verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Okay, simple. The first question, marijuana, does it yield fruits every month? Have you seen a marijuana plant that brings forth fruit every month? Now, the next question, does marijuana bear 12 different fruits on one tree? That's it. Once you can answer those questions, then it will answer the question, how did people get to put use this scripture to justify marijuana being the healing of the nations? Really? Right? Now, what is this really talking about? The heavens. What happens every month? What changes every month? The constellations. The constellations change every new moon. 12 constellations, 12 fixed constellations every new moon. And that's how you know the first moon or the first month of the year, the second month of the year, the third month of the year, right? That is what it is talking about. That is why they were back in the Greek time, the Greco-Roman time, they were referring to Paul and those apostles when they were doing their healing ministry. They referred to them as what? Jupiter and Mercury. They say the gods descend into the earth, right? The healing of the nations. This is what the message is talking about. It has nothing to do with a physical plant, because the physical plant, they shed their leaves and so forth, and it tells you that this tree would not be withered away, right? The moon is always there, the stars are always there, right? But what do we use them for? It says on either side of the river. So there are two sides to it. So the same tree of life, let me read this again. In the midst of the street of it, on either side was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And listen again. And on either side of it was there the tree of life. So guess what? There are two sides. If this is the tree of life, around here would be what? Knowledge, good and evil. So the same moon you use to keep your Sabbaths and your other feast days and appointments of the Most High is the same uh, um, is the same moon that you used to do what? It's the same moon you used to do what? Hmm? For the ones who understand this, it's the same moons you use to cast spells, right? So, for example, the moon, when it is at its full, it's light. Light comes with energy, right? But it's positivity. So When it's black, it's more darkness and evil. So when you're doing that negative spells, you charge it, you charge it on the black moon. You understand? You can use the same moon, the full moon, or when it has the light, to do what? Speak life into you, in life, in other people, in other things around you. It's what you use it for. So you see, the moon is neither good nor bad. It's the intention of mankind. That is what the problem is. So the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, good and evil, are the same constellations you see, the sun, the moon, and the stars. They are the same things. It's just like the Bible. The Bible teaches you to do good, right? But if it is teaching you to do good, what is it also teaching you? For example, if I say, thou shalt not murder, in a subtle form, what am I also telling you? That you can murder, but just don't do it. So you see, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same sun that we use to say, okay, a new day has begun. What do they use this sun for? Hmm? This is why a lot of times when you see a lot of people who work with the sun, when the day is cloudy and or rainy, they cannot do their work because they rely on the energy. It's the same sun. The sun is not bad. The sun is not good. The sun is just doing what it does. It is the intentions of man, right? So when you're dealing with the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, good and evil, it's the same thing. It's one coin with two sides. It's just like day and night, light and dark, good and evil. It's the same thing. So the healing of the nations has nothing to do with a physical plant. Shalom.